Okay, so in the last two sessions, we completed the properties of gamma function and the beta function with proof. Now we are going to see the numericals on beta and gamma function. The first and most important thing is how to identify the example is on beta or the example is on a gamma function. It's not so difficult because this definition only tells us whether the example is on beta or the gamma. So if you observe the definition of a gamma function, what are the things that you can observe? Yes, anyone? In gamma function definition, which are the important things that we should have there?
Limits from
Yes,
0 to
correct.
infinity,
The first thing should be the limit from 0 to infinity, and the another thing,
e to the power minus x,
correct. So
x and
there should be an exponential function with negative linear power, that is e raised to minus x. So these are the two things which are most important to use the gamma function. Yes, that x raised to n, even though if it is appeared or not, it's not any problem, but only the two things should be there at least, that is limit from 0 to infinity and e raised to minus x, that way. So the identification for the example on a gamma function is, so for a gamma function example, the integral should have the limit from 0 to infinity, but instead of that, if you observe on integrand, the integrand should be exponential function. So exponential function are of the two type, either with the base e, okay, like e raised to ax, or a raised to x. So if integrand contains exponential function with the base e or the base a, yes, we can convert that into the definition of a gamma. Or integrand if contains a logarithmic term, that logarithmic term also we can convert, in exponential form. We'll see that by some proper substitution we can convert this example into the gamma. Okay, so this is the identification for a gamma. Now to identify the beta function example, the example on the beta function, the first thing we should have trigonometric form. Now in trigonometry means like sine raised to mx, sorry, sine raised to mx, or cos raised to mx, or sine raised to mx into cos raised to nx. Only sine and cosine. Okay, if there is a term like only sine and cosine in the integral, like sine raised to mx or cos raised to mx or sine into cos, okay, like that, we can solve this by a beta. We can solve by the trigonometric form of a beta function. Can anyone recall? Can you solve this example by any other method? This type of integral
Willy's
by
Willy
Wallis theorem.
substitution.
Wallis
Wallis
formula.
theorem.
Okay, there is a Wallis formula. That's the thing that you can use, provided, yes, obviously in beta and Wallis formula, the limit should be 0 to pi by 2. That integral should have limit 0 to pi by 2, and that integrand should contain sine or cosine terms only. Yes, we can solve it by Wallis or beta and only beta. Now, what is the difference then? The difference is Wallis formula have a restriction. Wallis formula is only used for the integer power of sine and cosine. You should have sine cube, sine raised to 4, sine raised to 5. So n should, that m and n should be greater than 1 for Wallis formula. But for beta, there is no any restriction. This integral you can evaluate for any integer as well as the fractional values also. So beta is a more general. This is the more general. It is applicable to each and every that one. Another way of identifying beta function is integral will contain algebraic term, say x raised to n, or like 1 minus x raised to n. Okay, so or like x upon 1 plus x raised to n, something like that. Okay, so whenever integral will contain only algebraic term like this, okay, that integral, yes, throughout it should be algebraic only, then it can be solved by a beta. Okay, so we'll see the example, then it becomes more clear. But each and every example, you first thing is you have to identify that example is on a gamma function or the example is on a beta function, and the next step then you have to select a proper substitution. Okay, and that substitution will convert into the main definition of a gamma or a beta. Clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so we'll see the example now. The first example is already on the screen. You can see the question is evaluate integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square dx. First, tell me the example is on beta or the gamma?
Gamma.
Gamma.
Obviously a gamma because exponential function appears in the integrand. So it should be a substitution now to convert in the definition. What should
X
be
square is equal to t.
correct? X square equal to t. Remember, the definition of a gamma is like this. Okay, I will write it somewhere here. Gamma n is integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus x, x raised to n minus 1 dx. So the requirement is here, that is e raised to only linear term, okay, with a negative power. So substitution will be let x square is equal to t. So if x square is t, we want the value of a dx also. So to get the value of a dx, I will write first x as a t raised to 1 by 2. What is the dx then? 1 by 2 t raised to minus 1 by 2 dt. Is that? What about the limits? Limit remains same or change?
Same.
Yes, the limit will remain same. You can cross check also. It's always better to cross check the limit. So old variable is x, new is a t. Limit of x is a 0 to infinity. When x is a 0, t is a 0. When x is infinity, t is infinity. So integral, therefore the given integral become I, which we denote by I, is limit remains same 0 to infinity. Now it goes in variable t now. So e raised to minus t, dx value is 1 by 2, t raised to minus half dt. So this 1 by 2 is a constant. 1 by 2 is a constant outside the integral. We're left with 0 to infinity e raised to minus t, t raised to minus half dt. Now what will be the value of that integral? What will be the value of this integral? Compare this step with here. You'll get the answer.
Gamma 1 by 2.
Yes, gamma 1 by 2, correct. Because n minus 1, the value of n minus 1 is a minus half. So I will write here n minus 1 is a minus half. So n should be minus half plus 1, and that is plus 1 by 2. So this is a 1 by 2 gamma 1 by 2. And gamma 1 by 2 value already proved, that is a root pi. And that's the answer. Root pi by 2 is the answer. If you have the doubt, yes, you can ask. Is there any doubt to anyone? And if you
Sir,
come, yes,
can you explain how you got under root pi upon 2?
gamma half, value of gamma half is a root pi. This is the property we already proved in gamma.
Okay, sir.
Okay, got it. The value of gamma half is a root pi, value of gamma 1 is 1. Okay, gamma n is n minus 1 factorial provided n is integer. So these are the things we generally use to get the values of this gamma function. Any doubt? And if you complete, tell me so that I can move to the next example then.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay, so I'll move it to the next question then.
No, sir. 1 second.
So you are okay. Now I erase now, but you should tell me quickly, no?
Okay, sir. No problem.
Okay, okay. So example 2 is on the screen now. I will give a time, take 1 minute. so that you can think for substitution and you can start it. Simple example. Yes, anyone? What should be the substitution?
Y equals to t square.
Root y equals to t.
Root y is a t only, or y equal to t square. Okay. So that about y is equal to t square then, and the value of dy become a 2t dt, and we can cross check again the limit. The limit remains unchanged. Old variable is y, new is a t. Limit of y 0 to infinity. When y is a 0, t is a 0. When y is infinity, t is infinity. So the integral becomes 0 to infinity. It's a t e raised to minus t 2t dt. So 2 is a constant again outside. It's a 0 to infinity e raised to minus t square dt. And now what is the value of this integral? What is the value of integral?
Gamma 3.
Correct, very good. It's a gamma 3 because n minus 1 is 2, so n should be 3, gamma 3. So 2, and what is the value of gamma 3? So 2 factorial, and the final answer is 4 there. That's the end of the question. Yes, 242, you are correct. We should put y equal to t square.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
So, which all values of gamma should we remember?
only 3, na? One is a gamma half is a root pi. Second, gamma 1 is 1. And third is a gamma n is n factorial. Sorry, gamma n is n minus 1 factorial. That's one. Only 3. That's enough. You can get all gamma values then. Actually, that gamma n plus 1 is n gamma n. That is the property that you have to remember. Gamma n plus 1 is n gamma n for fractions and n factorial for n as an integer. Any doubt?
So can you explain
No,
how
sir.
did gamma 3 come?
Pardon?
Gamma 3.
Gamma 3 is a, yes. What is the problem with the gamma 3?
How did it come?
Comparing by the definition, what is the definition of gamma function? Tell me, what is gamma n?
0 to infinity e raised to minus x.
Just
X raised to n minus 1.
So, as you said, that definition that gamma n is 0 to infinity e raised to minus x, x raised to n minus 1 dx. So this n minus 1, if here is power of x is n minus 1, the answer
Yes,
is
I got
gamma
it.
n. Na? So what is
I
the
got
power
it.
of? So it should be the. Are you getting?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is always there. So you have to just add 1 to the power of variable, and that gives you the gamma.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you completed? All of you?
Yes, sir.
So let I move to the next question then. Example 3 on the screen now. Most important thing is a correct substitution now that you have to tell me. What should be the substitution which converts this integral in the gamma?
A to the power x equals to log
A raised to
x
x equal to log
log a.
log a. Not correct. Actually, we have to convert that exponential. Yes, you
X
started
raised to a, sir, x raised to a equals to, we can write it as e raised to log x raised to a.
No. Let I tell all of you. Remember, in the integral, which is the exponential term?
Raised to the power.
A raised to x. So right now we are given exponential term with the base a. Okay, and that is in the denominator. If you take in the numerator, it become a raised to minus x. So we have just like exponential term with the base a, but we want that in the form of exponential with the base e. So we'll do substitution like that only. If you take a raised to x equal to e raised to t, and that e raised to t comes in the numerator, it become automatically we require that as a e raised to minus t. So the meaning of that is x log a. If you take log on the both side, this t log e, but log e is 1. Okay, so we got the value for x as t upon log a, t upon log a, and we got the value for dx as dt upon log a. Main thing is this substitution only. All other things are not difficult there. And if you check the limits now, the limits remain same. Old variable is x, new is a t, limit of x is a 0 to infinity. So when x is a 0, t is a 0. When x is infinity, t is infinity. So the integral I will become, it's a 0 to infinity x raised to a. What is the value of x? X is t upon log a. So we'll say t upon log a raised to a. That is the value of x. Now denominator is a raised to x. If it take in the numerator, it become e raised to minus t, which we want actually. And the value of a dx is a dt by log a. This is the conversion. We converted from variable x to the variable t. Now let me take all constant term outside the integral. This log a raised to a and this log a raised to 1. So we can write log a raised to a plus 1, which is outside the integral, and we left the integral as a 0 to infinity e raised to minus t, t raised to a dt. And what is the value of integral now?
Gamma a plus 1.
Correct. It is a gamma a plus 1 divided by log a raised to a plus 1, and that is the end of the question. So we don't know the value of a. A can be a fraction, a can be an integer, only it is written a is a greater than 1. So because of this, we cannot write gamma a plus 1 as a gamma a or a factorial. Provided a is integer greater than 1, we can say a factorial in the numerator, but right now it's not given. So we have to keep this as an answer there. No further simplification. There is not possible at all. If you have the doubt, yes, you can ask. Why it is written a greater than 1? What is the problem if a is not greater than 1? Anyone?
That log is not
Sir,
defined.
then log can't be
Log.
Very
taken.
good, very good. So actually it is because of log function it is written, because log exists for greater than 1 only. Not only greater than 1. Okay. Log 0 is undefined. Log 1 is a 0. In between, yes, log exists there, but we are not going that. Here the condition is written. One of the thing is log 1 is a 0 and the denominator become a 0. The denominator is becoming 0 there. Can I show you the next example then? Are you completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. This question is asked in 2017 and this is a particular case of a previous example. What's the answer written? Gamma 5 divided by log 4 raised to 5 is the answer here. Gamma 5 divided by log 4 raised to 5. Complete it your own. What should be a substitution if this is the question come in the exam?
4 raised to x is equal to e
4
raised to
raised to
t.
x equal to e raised to
Yes,
t.
4 raised to x is equal to e raised to t. And exactly similar way, the integral will become 0 to infinity. That value of x will come as t by log 4. Okay, it's a t by log 4 raised to 4, and the value of 4 raised to x become e raised to minus t, 1 upon 4 raised to x actually, and the value of dx is missing actually here. Dx is missing in the question, so the value of a dx become dt upon
Log 4.
log 4. All these things I have written directly. Actually, you should write step by step in the exam, and then you get that 1 upon log 4 raised to 5 outside, and we're left with the integral e raised to minus t e raised to 4 dt, and the value of this is actually it is a gamma 5 upon log 4 raised to 5. Now generally when the question comes for 2 marks, you can stop here and you write this as answer. Otherwise gamma 5 can be written as 4 factorial, and that is the log 4 raised to 5. 4 factorial is I think 24. That is the end of the question. Any doubt?
Sir, how factorial 4 came?
Gamma 5, gamma n plus 1 is a n factorial, no? Are you getting? Gamma n
Yes,
plus
sir,
1
got
is
it, got
n
it.
factorial provided n is integer. We are already used in previous example. Gamma 3 is written as a 2 factorial. I written gamma 3 as a 2 factorial in the example 2. So can I move to the next question then?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So question number 5, example 5 is here. Evaluate integral 0 to 1 x log x raised to 4 dx. X log x raised to 4 dx. Now what should be the substitution here? First tell me this example is on beta or gamma.
Beta.
Beta.
Okay,
Beta.
many of you told me the beta by observing the limit, but remember this example is of not beta, it is only of gamma. Whenever log x also appears in the integral, that example generally converted to the gamma only. Just we have to convert log x to the exponential term. So the substitution will be, let log x is equal to minus t. So x become e raised to minus t, which we want. So dx become minus e raised to minus t dt. Not only that, the limit also goes to the required form. If you observe the limits, x and t, x limit is 0 and 1. So when x is 0, now log 0 is undefined, log 1 is a 0. So the limit goes infinity to the 0, and the integral I will become, it's infinity to the 0. The value of x is e raised to minus t. So e raised to minus t raised to 4 the value of log x as a minus t, so minus t raised to 4, and the value of a dx is minus e raised to minus t dt. So all these are we replaced. Now this minus sign we use to merge to change the order of limit, because we know the property integration a to b fx dx is equal to minus of integration b to a fx dx. So this minus sign will change the order of limit. It becomes 0 to infinity now. Here is e raised to minus 4t into e raised to minus t, that becomes e raised to minus 5t, and this is a t raised to 4 dt. Any doubt up to here? But what should be the next step? Still it is not in the gamma, so one more substitution we require.
Is equal to x.
5t is equal to y. Let us take 5t is equal to y. Actually here one of the property also can be used of the gamma, but if you want to show it step by step, let 5t is a y. So the value of t is a y by 5, value of a dt the dy by 5, limit remains same, and the integral will become 0 to infinity e raised to minus y, this is y upon 5 raised to 4, and dy upon 5. So 5 raised to 5 will come outside, and we're left with 0 to infinity e raised to minus y, y raised to 4 dy, and this is nothing but it is gamma 5 upon 5 raised to 5. And if you want to simplify this, it becomes 4 factorial upon 5 raised to 5, which will come 24 upon 3125. That is the answer. So two substitutions we used. One of the substitution we use here, log x as a t minus t, and another substitution is here. So at the end the integral goes in the main definition of a gamma, which is 0 to infinity e raised to minus y, y raised to 4 dy, y raised to 4 dy. So this is the y raised to 4 is there.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So can you tell me once more how did you interchange the limits?
This is the property, na? Integration a to b fx dx equal to minus of integration b to a fx dx. Is it the property? Or you know this property?
Ah, yes, sir. Okay, sir.
So here
Got
is a
it.
minus sign, and that minus sign I removed now, and I written it 0 to infinity there.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any doubt?
No.
Sir, how would we know that we have to substitute again?
Because it is not in the main definition of gamma, na? Gamma की definition क्या है? E raised to minus x only है ना? So we still not
Okay,
achieved
okay.
that, na? So
Yes, sir.
once we got that part, then only we stop. First important thing, the integral if contain e raised to x, a raised to x, or log of 1 by x, something like that. So exponential and log terms can be converted in the definition of a gamma. That you should remember.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so these examples